The student, those who are interested to work while they are studying to the university, honestly speaking, they are the real change maker of the country because they have the intention to contribute to the society while they are studying. But few of the students, they thought that my parents will give me the money, so I should complete my education first and then I will think that what should be my career choice. So these mindset also need to be changed. As I am representing the private university, so I should say the private university need to consider the lodging facility. If I'm considering our university, very frankly speaking, that before 10 years back, we are not so serious about the lodging student accommodation. But last 5 years, 8,000 students we accommodated inside the university. Thank you to your team member also. So first of all, as he also mentioned in his presentation that Japan population is declining. So that means it's an indication that how the educational system trend needs to be think, considering the country to country perspective. Because you see, once upon a time, I think if we go back to the 50 years back, the education system was developed for creating the service holder. I think the people should get the education and they should join as a service like various professions. And they don't have the much field also to consider that which field and which specialized people will be here. Whether it was a common like clerical job, like admin job, like management job. Later on, I think phase by phase, if you go through the statistics, you will find that BBA, business, they are coming with the HR, management, accounting, and other area they are bringing in slowly. And presently, I hope that today a lot of the presenter is also mentioned the entrepreneurship. I'm sure the innovation, critical thinking, technological development. So these sorts of mindset is now, I think, need to consider frequently in the education system because otherwise it will be tough to consider the trend of the admission also in university, sustainability also. It was also that COVID is also giving us a very serious indication or giving a breakthrough to all of our education institute that in the near future the education diversification is coming in serious way because not only the online education, I am sure the trend of the education system will be also changed. Because you see, if we are considering all of the students in the same manner, I think it will not be sustainable or not consider the education system in the near future. Because the student, someone has a challenging mentality, someone has the resilient mentality, someone is an innovative thinker, and someone has the entrepreneurial mindset as before lunch, I think the Pasag and his team is also mentioned that the student, those who are interested to work while they are studying to the university, honestly speaking, they are the real change maker of the country because they have the intention to contribute to the society while they are studying. But few of the students, they thought that my parents will give me the money, so I should complete my education first and then I will think that what should be my career choice. So these mindset also need to be changed. And at the same time, as Tanioka is also mentioned that you see the lodging facility. I think before 30 years back or 40 years back, the universities, especially the private universities, public universities different because they always got the money. So they develop the infrastructure and other sources. But I'm considering as I'm representing the private university, so I should say the private university need to consider the lodging facility. If I'm considering our university, very frankly speaking, that before 10 years back, we are not so serious about the lodging student accommodation. But last 5 years, 8,000 students we accommodated inside the university. So another 5,000 is under construction. And you'll be surprised because when we saw that due to cause of traffic jam, I think every country has a traffic problem. So we are seeing that our faculty is always eager to complete their class and move to the home because there is a severe traffic. Then 3 years back, instantly we took a decision. We developed the teachers' accommodation inside the campus. So until today, 161 teachers with their full family, they stay inside the campus. Another 200 unit we are also under construction. We are hopeful that next 1 year will complete it. So that 350 teachers, full family accommodation will be inside the campus. So this mindset, I think 20 years back, 30 years back was not there because the traffic was not such a terrible situation. I think every country there is a terrible situation is going on the traffic scenario. So I'm sure that these sorts of matter need to be cultivated and need to be introduced also in the education system. And again, you see, 2013, I took one initiative because Bangladesh economy is now running by the business community. If we just consider the tax and other things, everything is dominating and contributing by the business community. So 2013, I took one initiative, and when I took an initiative, everyone was surprised because University Grants Commission, they told me there was no specialist, no teacher. How can I will start the Bachelor of Innovation and Entrepreneurship subject in Bangladesh? Because in the whole Asia, there is no subject of innovation and entrepreneurship. I said, look, it doesn't matter that whole Asia or whole world what has happened, but as per my understanding, I realized that innovation and entrepreneurship subject need to be introduced to the university. So I'm trying to bring some of the experts to the various countries, and now I implemented this innovation and entrepreneurship department, and I'm really happy to share with all of you. This is one of the most demandable subjects is going on in our country, because these times I think in one seat there is 16 application for this department. So that means this creative mind people or the entrepreneur minded student is now increasing. So all university need to rethink to introduce the new subject, because the technological development is going on. As our president, Iaup president, in his welcome speech, he also mentioned the artificial intelligence, the how AI is already influencing in our daily activity. So educational system is also affecting seriously, because nowadays you don't need to develop your course curriculum. If you give the title, I think that artificial intelligence will develop your course curriculum. Even artificial intelligence AI can easily identify, segmentize that what should be the question for the student. And in the multiple choice of the question, also you will get it from the database of the AI. So that means that transformation need to be bring in every month or every year in the education system, because we don't know that tomorrow morning what technological development is waiting for us. So that also need to consider. Otherwise, what will happen? The serious impact will be coming to the educational sector, and at the same time, I'm sure that there is another component we need to think. Everyone is telling my university has XYZ number of students, but I think time should be coming that you need to say that my university placement is 98%. My university, this. I think Julian is already mentioned in his presentation that few of the students or one of the students is going to the billionaire in China from their alumni. If I'm not wrong, he already mentioned. So these sorts of statistics need to be produced in our next presentation, that my students, those who completed last 2 years, this is the number. This number is become entrepreneur. This number become a system analyst. This number, these sorts of database we need to produce. So based on the database, based on the career outlook or career or the placement, we need to redesign or develop the new subject. Otherwise, in the long run, every university will be facing problem. Come back to the Tanika, that he already mentioned that Japan, the population is declining. Yeah. So you see, and I'm very surprised because Nepal is considered is positively, because they already work with very closely with Japan, and they already introduced the Japanese language to their education sector. So that is also need to not only Japan. I think there is a lot of countries population is declining. I'm sure that if you go to the Canada, if you go to even USA, I think USA the majority community, I think more than 50% is dominated by the Chinese, Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistan, and other than Asian domination is there. You see, I visited 2 years back in UTD, I think in the Dallas, the T University. My students, those who completed last 2 years, this is the number. This number is become entrepreneur. This number become a system analyst. This number, these sorts of database we need to produce. So based on the database, based on the career outlook or career or the placement, we need to redesign or develop the new subject. Otherwise, in the long run, every university will be facing problem. Come back to the Tanika, that he already mentioned that Japan, the population is declining. Yeah. So you see, and I'm very surprised because Nepal is considered is positively, because they already work with very closely with Japan, and they already introduced the Japanese language to their education sector. So that is also need to not only Japan. I think there is a lot of countries population is declining. I'm sure that if you go to the Canada, if you go to even USA, I think USA the majority community, I think more than 50% is dominated by the Chinese, Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistan, and other than Asian domination is there. You see, I visited 2 years back in UTD, I think in the Dallas, the T University. It looked like I'm in Asia or I'm in USA. I was a little bit confused because the student is maximum is from Asian domination. So that means the educational trend, admission trend, and definitely a lot of this opportunity, and we need to think and we need to research and we need to understand the database also. And again, I think today a few of the discussion is also mentioned the alumni. I think as I'm mentioning repeatedly, the alumni is really playing a very key role, and how much bondings and contribution is coming from the alumni. That should be also considered as one of the key success of the trends of the university in the near future. So lastly, I should point out in one thing, because which I'm also facing severe problem, and I'm sure that all of you also have the same experience, the faculty mindset. The mindset of the faculty is still yet, they like to complete the course curriculum. They don't bother about what changes will be coming. As Carmen is already mentioned in her presentation, that she always keep her door open, knock and come. That means what happened? The changing growth mentality, adaptable mindset, she already considered. That is why I'm sure from 1994 until today, the management was keeping trust and confidence on her. So that means she has an adaptable and growth mindset. So, but faculty of the present scenario, I'm also a little bit tired to manage to the faculty, because when they completed their education from the other university, they joined in our university, they told that what I learned from my university, that one I'm trying to disseminate and I'm trying to conduct to the student. I'm tired to tell them, look, you need to think about the industry need. So that is why a few months back, I already forcefully introduced in our university professor of practice. Because, university, there was no rules to recruit from the industry. And industry people, whenever they are coming, there is no rules, because you have to lecturer, senior lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor. But industry people, they don't bother about to come join as a lecturer. So that is why I just introduced in my university first time, professor of practice. So, because we need to hire people from the industry. And I'm thankful to some of the Indian friend, I think, Mr. Shandip is here. I think he can speak more about it, because I love to say that in India, a lot of university I visited, and I found that they already recruited from the industry-oriented people. Those who have the background of the industry, I think they promoted a lot. I'm sure the last 5 to 6 years, they changed their mindset. They are bringing the industry people. Even I visited one Bangalore University. So I talked with the chancellor. The founder is a very good friend of mine. I told him that I like to talk with your vice chancellor. He told my friend, don't talk with my vice chancellor. Because if you talk with the vice chancellor, he's an academician. Rather you talk with my pro-vice chancellor. I mean, why? Because he's from the industry. He has a 26 years knowledge in the industry. Then I requested him to join in my university as a pro-vice chancellor. So he will enjoy when you talk with him. And when I talk with him, I said that his wavelength and my wavelength is almost same. Because he also realized the all matter. So anyway, I think these trends need to be considered, and I'm sure that Iaup is playing a very good role. So all of the best practices need to bring through Iaup, and please disseminate this information to all of the member university who are doing the best practices, so that the people and the member university can easily follow each other. And by this networking and best practices sharing, Iaup can be one of the role model in the whole world. Thank you very much.